We have more bad news for Call of Duty because despite the fact that they're about to get absolutely eviscerated by Battlefield 6, man, things get even worse for them. Because just days after they announced that, hey, Paramount's going to be making a Call of Duty movie, finally, after years of fans, thinking, hey, maybe they could turn this into a movie or a television series, we're getting news that this Call of Duty movie could have actually been awesome, except that Activision got in the way, turning down Steven Spielberg himself to direct the Call of Duty movie. What is going on, guys? It is Cabal Culture Smasher here. Welcome back to the channel, and in today's video, oh my goodness, man, what a rough few years it has been for the Call of Duty brand, and especially Activision, its publisher, because Modern Warfare 2019, right, they had the chance to turn that game into something special, something that could actually last for a few years. And especially when the pandemic hit, I thought naturally, the decision was going to come down to, okay, well, there's a pandemic going on. We can't have many people in the studio. Hey, people like Modern Warfare 2019. Why don't we, instead of, trying to do an annual release, why don't we pause Call of Duty development for a few years, wait for this pandemic to blow over, let's, working from home, try to dedicate a lot of time to making Modern Warfare 2019 one of the best games we possibly have, right? Especially with the success of Warzone. Yeah, instead we're going to get Call of Duty Vanguard, and then we're going to get freaking Cold War, and then we're going to get Modern Warfare 3, and now we're getting Black Ops 7. They just can't help themselves. It's like Disney Star Wars, but worse. Because whereas Disney Star Wars keeps making terrible show after terrible show because they're too embarrassed to actually make a good Star Wars film in the theater at this point because they have no talent, Activision, finally you get one saving grace. You get Steven Spielberg, the man himself, the director of some of the most legendary movies of the 20th century, coming to you saying, hey, I want to make a Call of Duty movie. Give me the keys to the kingdom. I'll give you a polished film that the fans will absolutely adore. I'm going to make you $1 billion movie. Yeah? Nope. Psych. You can't have creative control of our brand, Steven Spielberg. Take a hike, bozo. Like, what? What was Activision thinking? How in the world can you be this stupid as a company that you, knowing that your fan base is basically dwindled, the only people playing your game at this point are streamers and like absolute retarded little children, all right, who took the COVID vaccine and it's making their brains dumb. They don't know what actual good gaming is. Those are the only people left playing your game. They needed something to bring the fan base back to this franchise, even if it wasn't a game. Anything related to the Call of Duty IP would have been healthy for Activision, right? And instead, they squander their chances. So with them turning down Steven Spielberg to direct a Call of Duty movie, this movie is probably going to be woke AF. It's probably going to be DEI on steroids. I mean, have you looked at, the developers of Call of Duty these days? Anyone with testosterone, I can tell you that. Man, I'm really worried now. At first, I'm like, okay, this actually sounds like it could be a cool announcement when they first announced the movie. And then a few days later, hearing that Spielberg was turned down, I'm like, okay, never mind. It's going to be trash. There's no hope. It's over. Battlefield 6 for the win. Let's check out some articles from Forbes, because even the mainstream media, Forbes of all places, is complaining about this stuff, right? You know that it's bad when even your normies are saying this is a terrible decision. Steven Spielberg wanted the Call of Duty movie, but Activision bailed, says report by Paul Tassi, by the way, one of the wokest reporters in the games journalist today. This week, it was announced that Call of Duty was going to be turned into a movie over at Paramount, recently flying high with the release of blockbusters like Top Gun Maverick, but it appears something rather wild happened behind the scenes in terms of how they landed the project. According to a new report from the reliable Puck News, none other than Steven Spielberg was trying to land the Call of Duty movie as an allegedly huge player of the game himself. Now, I don't really buy that Steven Spielberg plays Call of Duty, although we do know that he is a gamer. Like, he literally founded Medal of Honor, right? Call of Duty's original predecessor before Call of Duty then took over and became the king of first-person shooters. Spielberg pitched what he wanted for the movie to Activision, but he also wanted full final cut and control over production of the film. That spooked Activision, who bailed and then sold to Paramount, where they would have more control. This is Steven Spielberg we're talking about, one of the most famous and talented directors of all time, but Activision just couldn't give up control, even if he's a big fan of the series at its baseline. It's kind of a crazy thought, though, given his pedigree, but I also cannot find myself terribly shocked that Activision would not want a large amount of control over this long-awaited multimedia adaptation of their flagship franchise and one of the biggest video game properties of the world. So I sort of see where they're coming from. Yeah, but I don't. And here's why. Because Activision is in the shitter, okay? We thought that them getting acquired by Microsoft would fix everything. It actually made it even worse. I swear that now it's like when the UK succeeded from the EU, all right? We thought that was going to heal the UK. Look at the UK now, all right? That is like one of the greatest shitholes on planet Earth, okay? Activision, man, they're the world's dumbest company in gaming, followed closely by EA. Every major AAA development team, including indie development teams, they're all really stupid, okay? Because the gaming industry as we know it has been taken over by leftists, all right? This is what game developers used to look like back in the day, and this is what they look like now. It's run by a bunch of incompetent liberals, and yes, I have to point out the ideology. I have to get political, because without getting political, I would be negating a very fair criticism of the reason why gaming is such a bad state right now. It's run by woke activists. It's not run by actual game developers with talent and with passion for gaming. And so in turn, what you get is a few hits here and there from Asian developers and just a world of shit from Western developers. That is why I'm genuinely surprised that Battlefield 6 is even in the state that it's in. I'm surprised it's even competently made. I thought for sure after Battlefield 5 and Battlefield 2042 that there's no way they can ever recover from this as a brand. That is pretty impressive on its own. Why would Call of Duty want creative control over an IP that they have lost control of over the last few years? Why in the world? When they know that they're a fledgling franchise, when they know they're losing to their competitors, even though they're making a lot of money, why do they need creative control? They've already rebooted the story of Modern Warfare and Black Ops several times. They've already done a bunch of reboots and technical remakes and stuff like that, you know, changes here and there, retcons here and there to the story. Why do they need creative control when Steven Spielberg could easily just adapt Black Ops or Modern Warfare, you know, the original series, how he sees fit? It's just them being an arrogant assholes again, thinking that they can actually know their own story better than Steven Spielberg, the man that actually created Medal of Honor, the very thing that Call of Duty is based off of, right? Because the original guys that made Black Ops and made Modern Warfare, those guys are gone. There's no reason why Call of Duty needs to continue to maintain control over its story when the actual people who made those games are not even the ones in control of the narrative anymore. What you have now, like I said, is a bunch of diversity hires working at Activision Blizzard. It would be better in their best interests to let somebody else take over the reins, especially because considering that Activision are not filmmakers. They're game publishers, and not very good ones at that, okay? If they had let Spielberg make the film, they actually would have a chance. Knowing that they want full creative control, I highly doubt this is going to be a good movie. It'll be surprising if it even feels masculine at all. When's the last time a Call of Duty game has felt masculine, right? You literally have Beavis and Butthead and Nicki Minaj in the game, for Christ's sake, okay? Be surprised if we even have, like, Alex Mason isn't race-swapped to be, like, black or something like that, okay? Be surprised if Hudson even acts like a dude, or Frank Woods is even, like, a man. It could be transgender for all we know, all right? It's over for Call of Duty, man. It's over. And I used to love Call of Duty, just like many of you did. I am so glad now there's other games out there like Marvel Rivals and Battlefield 6 and games I actually enjoy playing that are new games, because it's rare in recent years that I've had a new game that I actually enjoy. It's good to find one that I do genuinely enjoy and that'll keep me entertained for a while, but you know, it'll probably be more entertaining to play Battlefield 6 than go watch the Call of Duty movie. We shall see. If they know what's good for them, they will just adapt Modern Warfare or Black Ops to the big screen, make no changes to it. If they're retarded, they're going to tell an original story and it's going to be done horribly, okay? It's going to be another train go boom. But anyway, guys, that was the video. If you're excited for Call of Duty, the movie, let me know. If you're not excited, let me know why. If you like this video, please consider leaving a like and subscribing. I will see you guys in the next one.